This video is for an example for number 19. Number 19, it is a part of your homework. And on this particular problem, they are giving you the center of the circle and they're giving you a point on the circumference. And so when you go from the center of the circle to a point on the circumference, that is actually then, if you were to connect the center and then to this point, that would be your radius. All right, and they're wanting us then to write the standard equation of the circle, given these two things. So what we are missing is the radius. We are missing the radius, and so we need to find the radius. And in order to do that, we need to find this length from the center point to the point that's on the circumference. So from this point to that point is the radius. We got to find that length. Now, in order to do that, we have to use our distance formula. And you guys have used this before, and I've got it wrote down here. And so we're going to take then and we're going to plug these numbers into our distance formula, and that's actually going to give us the radius. So instead of D there for distance, I'm going to put R, because that distance is going to be the radius. So that's what we're trying to find. So equals, and then we're going to have our square root symbol. Now here's our numbers over here. This would be like x1, y1. This would be like x2, y2. And I'm going to plug them in. So x2 is -2. So -2 minus x1, which is a -2, so that's going to be minus a negative, quantity squared, plus, and then my y values, y2 is 10 minus y1, which is 6, and then that is also quantity squared. So plugging in my numbers into the distance formula, and like I said, what we're trying to find is the radius. So the distance from this center point to this point on the circumference is the radius, and that's what we're trying to find. So now I'm going to go ahead and simplify. This is still under the square root. Now that's -2, that would be plus positive there, and so that's going to end up to be 0 squared plus 10 minus 6, which is going to give me 4 squared. And so now I can simplify. 0 squared is just going to be 0, and so plus, and then 4 squared is going to give me 16. So what we're going to end up with is just 16, because 0 plus 16 would just be 16. Now then I can take the square root of that, and I end up with my radius then is going to equal 4. So now I've got my radius. My radius is equal to 4. And now, since I've got my center of the circle and I have the radius, now I can write my equation. Now the standard form for the equation of a circle, remember, is x minus h, quantity squared, plus y minus k, quantity squared, equals r squared. So that's my standard form for a circle. And so now I've got to plug in my center. And so this would be, the h would be -2, so minus a -2, minus a negative, squared, plus y minus my k then would be 6. And again, make sure you're using the center here. The center, this would be the h, that would be the k. All right, and then equals my radius, I would plug in to be 4. And now we want to simplify this. And so x minus a negative, that becomes plus positive, or plus 2 quantity squared, plus y minus 6 equals 4 squared, then would be 16. And so this would be my answer. This is the standard equation for this circle that has a center at -2, 6, and the point on the circumference, which was -210. The circle goes through that point. And so this would be my answer then for number 19.